meditation we do in Sky system. An aspirant who got initiated with Agna, Shanti and Durya, when they start doing the introspection courses, Introspection 1, this is one of the special meditation. We start doing it. So whenever we want to do anything in action or practice anything, we should know enough information or the details or the explanation about a specific thing. This details and explanation will help us to intensify our thought process that naturally transform into words and actions. And even it helps to do the sadhana, which is Panchendriya meditation, in an improved and enhanced way. So today we are going to know the details and explanations what Maharishi shared with us. And we are going to think through that and get more understanding on this meditation, which will help us to practice it in a better way. Maharishi says in 3 words: information, confirmation, and transformation. Today, in this session, we are going to get a lot of informations about Panchendriya and Panchendriya meditation and its importance and its benefits. So these informations will definitely get intensified and will help us to do the practice in a better way. Be blessed by the divine. Let us all get our Guru's blessings to help us, guide us throughout the session to elevate ourselves to a next level of our understanding. Be blessed by the divine. Let me share my screen. Prabhu, do we want to do a meditation after this session? I see Karthik Murugesan and Shankar Manikam aspirants. Are they get initiated?
Yeah, I know Karthikeya has done the taken the initiation already. Okay. Shankar Manikam, have you taken like till Turiyam?
Yes, I've completed till Brahmanyanam.
Oh, Brahmanyanam. Okay. We'll have a quick meditation. And Lalita Amma, have you taken Turiya initiation already?
Lalita Shanmuganathan Amma?
I think maybe
Lalita Amma? Yeah.
Maybe not able to, I know she was joining back as well, maybe problem with not able to unmute. That is fine, yeah. So let's have the meditation as well, unless we hear back from Lalita Amma. Yeah, but we will start with the explanation, then go to the meditation. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. That will give good intensity on the meditation for sure. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. Be blessed by the divine. Guru Varga, Guru Tunai. So let us go through this slides and get more clarity. Be blessed by the divine. Panchendriya meditation and explanation. So in this phrase, we have 2 words, Panchendriya and meditation. So we need to understand what is Panchendriya, and we all know what is meditation. Focusing our mind to attain realization is called meditation. And we start with the life force, and that is called Agna. So to get to a meditative state, mind has to be in a calm state, peaceful state. Mind will be peaceful only when it focuses its source, and that's what is we are getting as an initiation from our guru as Agna, followed by Duriya and all other higher level of initiations. So we all know a little bit about meditation, and we are going to discuss about Panchendriya. So in this meditation, when we discuss about the word meditation, we see the medium of or the carrier which helps us to do or get to a meditative state is mind. And at the deepest state of our meditation, we will merge our mind to the divine. So mind is the carrier. Same way, if you look at the Panchendriya, the word Panchendriya, it represents our 5 sense organs. And these 5 sense organs are gaining experience from our day-to-day activity. And through these 5 sense organs, the carrier which is gaining experience is our mind. So even in Panchendriya and meditation, in these 2 words, we are using mind as a carrier. And Panchendriya is what we are going to see what is Panchendriya, and we will be having some more information about and different names and how it has evolved as Panchendriyas, and what is really happening when we are using Panchendriyas on our day-to-day activity. So when we discuss about this Panchendriya meditation as a whole, we have an inherent quality which is called mind is playing a big role on this. And in the sky system, in Tamil, we call it as Manavalakalai, the well-being, the art of mental well-being. So mind is the key to attain the or realize the truth. So all our explanation, whatever Maharishi gave in this introspections, are all based on mind, and we keep that in our mind. So we are using mind even for the understanding. So without mind, you don't have anything. Maharishi says, "Ennathirku appalum ondrumillai, ippalum ondrumillai." So we keep that as a constant awareness, and let us get into the explanations. Panchendriya. The other names for Panchendriyas are 5 senses, sense organs, and Jnanendriyas. So in our life, if we say we are living, we gain experience through these 5 sense organs, and then we internalize it, process it, and then understand the good and bad, and decide on how to approach the next step. So this moment's enjoyment is what going to be the experience for the next moment. And these Panchendriyas are the main thing or the main tool we use to lead our life. And Maharishi says the mental transaction of day-to-day life, day-to-day activities is called life. Manam seyyum vanibame manidanin வாழ்க்கை. So this mind is using the 5 senses to these 5 senses are the key things to gain experience in our life. Our mind is spending its energy. Mind is nothing but a biomagnetic wave. It spend its own energy and gain experiences, and we revolve around this experiences is called life. So we understand what is Panchendriya, and we call it as Jnanendriya. The other name for Panchendriya is Jnanendriya. Jnanam is gaining knowledge, and the accumulation of knowledge is happening only through five senses, and the decisions are taken through the experiences of these five senses. When our mind is elevating through these experiences, when we attain a state where we have to save or conserve the energy we spend through these senses and then transform it as a spiritual energy to elevate ourselves, that is when we gain or realize the Jnana Nilai. So these five senses are leading us to this wisdom state. That's why it is called as Jnanendriyas. Let's move on. Panchendriyas. The Panchendriyas are skin, tongue, nose, eyes, and ears. These are the five Panchendriyas. So by using these five senses, we are understanding the quality of the external objects. Those qualities or the senses are touch through the skin. Skin is the organ of touch. And we are using tongue to understand the taste, nose to identify the smell, eyes to understand the sight, ears to hear the sound. So all these five materialistic organs are used to identify the qualities of the external objects. Those qualities are called Pancha Tanmatras. Those Tanmatras are touch, taste, smell, sight, and hearing. Okay, let's take this scenario. So we have all these Pancha Indriyas, but when a person is dead or even having all these five senses, but they don't able to identify the qualities called touch, taste, smell, sight, and hearing. So there is something which is transforming itself to identify all these Panchatanmatras. So these organs are the outlets to experience or spend the biomagnetism which is produced in the body and gain experiences. So we understood that these Panchatanmatras are the transformation of biomagnetism which is generated inside our body, and those biomagnetism, the extension of the biomagnetism is called mind. So basically our mind is experiencing all these, the biomagnetic wave is experiencing all this by spending its own energy or transforming to a different level or different degree to identify all these Panchatanmatras. So it is a consumption. So we have to understand that mind is again playing or being a big reason behind these Panchatanmatras through these Panchendriyas. So Panchendriyas are the outlets. So we have to have a proper gate or proper closure to conserve the energy. So we understand what is Panchendriya and what is Panchatanmatra. Panchatanmatra is the magnetic transformation of mind, which identifies the connection between the external objects on its own and with its own. So we are going to discuss about a Tirukkural, which is Suvai Oli Ur Vosai Natram Evatrin Vahai Therivan Kattai Ulagu. Only a person who comprehends the real nature of the five senses can appropriately live his life on earth. So if we understand the real reason behind how these five senses are evolved and how it is felt, and how can we conserve or gain knowledge out of it, if a person who knows a complete understanding of how these five senses are operating, giving experiences and transforming as imprints, can only live his life on earth. So these five senses, the understanding of these five senses is the key to lead our life in a calm and peaceful way. That's what we are getting as an understanding through this Tirukkural. Let us move on to the next slide. Origin of the sense organs. So we all know that the consciousness is order of function in everything and everywhere. And this consciousness is having a self-compressive surrounding force as its inherent quality, and it has kinematic quivering. With these qualities, and we have to remember that it is everlasting and ever increasing, with all this understanding in our mind, the same consciousness is what is transformed as a dust particle because of its self-compressive force. And when it transformed into the dust particles, as the surrounding force is continuous, it starts to spin because it felt the surrounding pressure force. If we look at the self-compressive force in the point of dust particle, it is felt as the surrounding pressure force. And when that experience happened in the dust particle, it starts spinning. And the moment it starts spinning, it gains a momentum, but that momentum is called the magnetism. And that momentum is an unmanifested state in the dust particle. And because of the self-surrounding force, all these dust particles are come closer together and starts next formation called Vin or Akash. And that is called the first Bhuta in Panchabhutas. And that Akash is continuously transforming or changing based on its number of Akash particles along with the absolute space. It transformed into air, fire, water, and earth. This is how the Panchabhutas are formed, and these Panchabhutas are the key elements in the whole existence. If you take anything, we'll be having these Panchabhutas. And when it transforms from Akash to air, to fire, water, and earth, the free-moving dust particles or Paramanu thrown out of the arrangement is always merged with the absolute space. And that action or that transient state is called magnetism. And this magnetism is getting intensified and express its quality. The same consciousness is what transformed into magnetism, and that magnetism exhibits its quality as pressure in Akash particle, sound in air, light and heat in fire, taste in water, and smell in earth. So these magnetic actions is the consciousness exhibit from these Panchaputas. And these qualitative expression is continuously evolved along with these Panchaputas, is transformed into living being when these 5 Panchaputas are mixed in a proper proportion, and the free moving particle, Akash particle, make a circular circuit where it gains the intensity at the center, and that's called Karumayam or Anma, genetic center or Anma. So that is how the living organism evolution starts. And when it starts experiencing, or when it starts evolving, the magnetism evolved and starts experiencing each and every magnetic action, whether it is pressure, sound, light, taste, and smell. That is when the perception started to evolve, and to gain these perceptions is when the organs formed. That is how the sense organ evolution happened. I hope we gain understanding how the sense organ evolution happened from the divine state to the 5 senses state. Let us move on to the next slide. So when we discuss in the previous slide, we were discussing about a universal phenomenon called magnetism. So when it happens in the Panchaputas outside our physical existence is called universal magnetism. And when it happens within ourselves is called biomagnetism. So we have a gross body and astral body. So these two are the basis for Akash particle to make a rotation and intensify as a magnetism. When this magnetism happens within our body or in a living being, that's called biomagnetism, and the same magnetism happens outside our body in the Panchaputas is called universal magnetism. So that is the relationship between universal and biomagnetism. Sensual illusion, material illusion. So we discussed that there is a magnetic wave which spreads from our body, and that's called mind, and we need to understand how it is originated. So the origination of this biomagnetic wave, or the production of this wave, or this perception of this wave, happens from a spinning motion, free spinning motion all over our body, and that spinning motion is called Akash particle or the life energy. So it is the source of biomagnetism, and the consumption of life energy through the 5 sense organs gives rise to the illusion of pleasure. So when we say a consumption of our biomagnetic energy, it is nothing but the consumption of life energy, because that is the source of the biomagnetism or the mind. So we understood that if we feel pain or pleasure, whatever we feel, whatever we perceive through 5 senses, it is actually the consumption of our own life energy. So the pain or pleasure is not actually coming from outside. It is purely how we consume our life energy. That's what the understanding we need to gain. Sensory perceptions are the result of variations in the stock of biomagnetism and its activation. Sense organs form the gateways for consumption of biomagnetism. Perceptions are born of consumption of biomagnetism. Pain and pleasure are the result of consumption of biomagnetism. Yes, if we are drinking coffee or watching TV or the darkness in a theater, all these are the examples of consumption of our biomagnetism. Let's take drinking coffee. So let's take this scenario. We are going to our friend's home and we were served with some nice sweets, and we had one or two, and then followed by that they serve us a coffee. So when we drink that coffee, we'll never feel the sweetness in the coffee, and we feel it is little bitter. The reason why it is because when we have sweets at first, our biomagnetism is raised to a level to gain the perception of that sweetness. So our biomagnetism raised to a level which is more than the sweetness of the coffee. As we go to the upper level or a higher level, we couldn't understand the lower degree of sweetness. Maharishi says a beautiful explanation about understanding. Understanding is nothing but stand under to identify the real reason or the meaning. The same way, if our biomagnetic energy level raised to a particular level, and if you are trying to experience something which is of lower degree of level, we couldn't get that experience. So by this example, we will be able to understand that whatever we perceive, whether it is sweet, taste, smell, or like pain or pleasure or anything, is purely the consumption of our biomagnetism. Let's move on to the next slide. Sensory illusions and the truth. Sensory perceptions are not born of the object we come into contact with. Sensory perceptions are not born of the objects we come into contact with. Biomagnetism transforms into the shape and quality of the object we perceive. Transformation of biomagnetism yields pleasure or pain depending on its quality. So this is what we need to understand up to this, that whatever the experience we gain is actually the expense of our biomagnetism. For example, if we look at something and when we see a particular object, the image of an object is raising a magnetic impulse in our body, and that impulse is what creating an image on our eyes, and that magnetic image is what get into a point, and then it compresses more and then recorded as an experience in our genetic center. So it's purely the transformation of our biomagnetism. Let's move on to the next slide. So the consumption of biomagnetism. If the consumption of biomagnetism, which is produced in our body, is within a tolerable level, and that is called pleasure. If it is beyond the tolerable level, then it is pain. So we need to understand this, the difference between pleasure and pain. So we experience five senses. We experience 5 different tanmatras, which is touch, smell, taste, sight, and heat. So those are the 5 senses, sensual pleasures, sensual feelings we gain when it is to a tolerable level, and that's what is felt consolidated way, in a consolidated way through our mind waves, is called pleasure. If it is beyond the tolerable level of these sense organs, it's called pain. For example, if we watch TV continuously for a long time, or any screen for a long time, then we slowly see an irritation on our eyes. That is the indication of crossing the tolerable level of that organ. And we are spending our energy to beyond the tolerable level of that organ. That's when we feel the discomfort or irritation, and that's called pain. If it is on a tolerable level, then that's called pleasure. So we understand that the consumption of biomagnetism is what is defining pain and pleasure. Let's move on to the next. For a peaceful existence, so we understand that we are spending our own energy to gain experiences. So how can we lead our existence as so peaceful is purely how we care with regards to food, work, rest, sex, and thoughts. These are the 5 different actions we do in our life. And if we have a measure and method, which is limit and method on these 5 things, which is food, work, rest, sex, and thoughts. If we have the limit and method on these 5, is what helps us to lead a peaceful existence in our life. And all these 5 different activities are associated, or the association of the 5 sense combination. And that 5 sense combined feel is called pain and pleasure. Let's move on to the next slide. Benefits of Panchendriya meditation. So based on this slide, we understand what is actually the sensual pleasure and what is the source of these and how it really happens. And we understood that we have to follow limit and method on our expense, and that will give us a peace of mind. It is purely how we plan our expenses. So if we earn $10, we have to plan our expenses within that. If we are not, then we will see the discomfort or sorrow or displeasure on our life. The same way, we have to mindfully use these expenses through our senses, which will give us a peaceful existence. That's what we understood this. Next, we are going to discuss about the benefits of Panchendriya meditation. So we are going to meditate on these 5 senses, and that gives the sense of usage, how to use it, and how to gain experience, and what is the limit and method, and all that will be gained through this meditation. So by doing Panchendriya meditation regularly, we gain freedom from sensual illusion and materialistic illusions. So whatever we see as a sensual pleasure or materialistic illusions, all are purely based on the consumption of our own life force energy, which is nothing but the biomagnetism consumption. Once we gain this understanding, our spiritual wisdom will be elevated. The state of constant awareness about our expense, control over thoughts, words, and deeds, because these are the 3 key things which drives our consumption of biomagnetism. So we gain control over thoughts, words, and deeds. And we understand the importance, and we start practicing the measure and method in the 5 senses, sensual pleasures. And next is the mental peace. So these are the 5 benefits of Panchendriya meditation. By doing Panchendriya meditation regularly with all this information and understanding, And by doing a regular practice, we gain all these benefits. And the final and ultimate aim of our life is to lead our life in a peaceful way. So that is also one of the main benefits in doing Panchendriya meditation regularly. So how this meditation is formed. So if you think of the order how we do meditation is, we do start our Panchendriya meditation on the skin, followed by tongue, then nose, eyes and ears. So these are the order. First we do meditation on this Panchendriyas, then we go to the saved energy by doing the meditation on these senses to Agna and Duriya to convert it as a spiritual energy, to make our life or to lead a path on our spiritual progress. So if you look at this order, we'll understand Maharishi designed this meditation based on the evolutionary process. So if we start, when we start our meditation, we start with skin, which is the sense of touch. And the first living being which evolved in the transformation of or the journey of consciousness, the first living being is plant, and that plants that has only the sense of touch. Next is worm, and that has the sense of taste, and they gain the second sense. And we are doing the meditation next on our tongue because that is the sense of taste, followed by nose, and that is the next journey of consciousness from worms to insects, and that gain the perception of smell, and we are doing the meditation on our nose, which is the organ of smell, followed by the fourth sense, which is sight, and reptiles, which are the next living being in the evolution of consciousness, gain the sight. And we do the meditation on our eyes, which is the sense of sight. That's the fourth sense, and followed by fifth, which is mammals, and they have ears to hear the sounds, and that is the fifth evolutionary process of consciousness, and we are doing the meditation on our ears. So in our so this meditation is purely a evolutionary process oriented meditation, and we do this, when we do this on each and every sense, we subconsciously reminding the history of ourselves by focusing on each and every senses, and that gives and that adds the positive vibe to our mental energy as well as on the organs. So when we use these organs on our normal day-to-day life, we have this clarity and intensity always harmonizing with these senses, so we will not cross our limit and method on each and every senses or the main 5 activities we do on our day-to-day life. So that's the ultimate source behind this meditation. And to identify or understand this evolutionary process, if we take a human being who start from a childhood to an adult, and then followed by a parent, and then in old age, when they reach the old age, by leading their life in a proper scheduled structure or scheduled way, the person who attains the old age, let's say 85, 90 years, the order of losing the senses is in the reverse way. For example, if you take an old man or an old women, the sense first they lose is the hearing. When they are very old, they lose their hearing, followed by their sight, and then they lose their sense of smell, and followed by taste, and then finally they leave this world by losing the sense of touch. So the order it comes into existence, the consciousness, the order in which the consciousness comes into existence in an order way, like skin, tongue, like nose, ears, and eyes and ears, it goes in the reverse way, like losing the sense of sound, losing the sense of voice, losing the sense of smell, followed by taste and then touch. That's when the human life ends. So this is just an information, so it will help us to get more understanding on this meditation's importance, how Maharishi thinks and then design this meditation. It is very key meditation to gain limit and method on our sensual activities, and that leads us to a peaceful way of leading life. Be blessed by the divine. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I hope Maharishi is with us throughout the session to gain more clarity and understanding by thinking through these slides. Be blessed by the divine. Guru Valga, Guruve Tunai. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Aiyaa. Valga Valampur.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் ஐயா. Do you want to do a quick meditation, or how do you want to? Do we time?
Sure, Aiyaa. Yeah, we'll do like a 10 minutes meditation. We will
10 minutes
focus on.
meditation. Yeah. Just let's close it before 8 a.m. CST. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Let's start.
May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. Be blessed by the divine. The atmosphere around us is being purified by the divine power. The atmosphere around us is being purified by the divine power. The atmosphere around us is being purified by the divine power. The divine energy descends upon us, and our body and soul are being purified and blessed. The divine energy descends upon us, and our body and soul are being purified and blessed. The divine energy descends upon us. Our body and soul are being purified and blessed. May the divine power protect us, guide us, lead us in all our activities, day and night, at all times and at all places. Salutations to Mother. Salutations to Father. Salutations to our beloved Guru, Sri Yogiraj Vedatri Maharishi. The meditation, Panchendriya meditation. Let's start meditating on the skin. Skin is the organ of touch. Let us focus our mind throughout the body, which covered by skin. Be blessed by the divine. Let us focus our mind, start meditation on our tongue. Touch the tip of the tongue on the upper palate of our mouth and do meditation. Meditation on the tongue. The sense of taste. Meditation on the nose. Meditate on the nose where air enters. Be blessed by the divine. Meditation on the eyes. Connect the eyes with an imaginary line and focus our mind on the pupil of the eye. Meditation on the eyes. Meditation on the ears. Connect the inner ears with an imaginary line and focus our mind on the inner ears. Meditation on the ears. Agna. Mind remain focus on between the eyebrows. Agna. Duriyam. Focus our mind on the center top of the head. Durium. Be blessed by the divine. Let us conclude the meditation. Spread the energy throughout your body. All the cells in body are purified and blessed. By the grace of divine power, we may enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, prosperity, wisdom, and peace. By the grace of divine power, we may enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, prosperity, and peace. By the grace of divine power, we may enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, prosperity, wisdom, and peace. Bless your life partners. Bless your children one by one. Bless your siblings. Bless your close relatives and friends. Bless your co-workers, superiors, subordinates, and anybody associated with your day-to-day activities. Bless enemies or miscreants, if any, so that they may also lead a good life. Let us bless our Guru's teaching known as Vedatriyam, or Kavalamudan. Vedatriyam, be blessed by the divine. Vedatriyam, be blessed by the divine. World Community Service Center, be blessed by the divine. Temple of Consciousness at Aiyaa, be blessed by the divine. Chicago Sky Trust Meditation Center, be blessed by the divine. Arkansas Sky Trust Meditation Center, be blessed by the divine. All the sky centers across the world, be blessed by the divine. Participants who participated in today's meditation, be blessed by the divine. Twofold moral principle. I, in my lifetime, will not cause pain to others physically or mentally. To the extent possible, I will remove the pain of others. I, in my lifetime, will not cause pain to others physically or mentally. To the extent possible, I'll remove the pain of others. I, in my lifetime, will not cause pain to others physically or mentally. To the extent possible, I will remove the pain of others. Be blessed by the divine. Auto suggestions for the world. May all the responsible world leaders understand the dignity of self and attain self-realization. May all of them form a powerful one world government, protect the borders of all the countries of the world. May all the people thereby live without fear of enmity and war, performing their respective duties. May all enjoy the bliss of everlasting peace and happiness thereby. Be blessed by the divine. Blessings for rain. May there be rainfall in adequate strength so that rivers, lakes, tanks, and wells are filled to the brim. May people live in prosperity through ennoblement of character. May there be rainfall in adequate strength so that rivers, lakes, tanks, and wells are filled to the brim. May people live in prosperity through ennoblement of character. May there be rainfall in adequate strength so that rivers, lakes, tanks, and wells are filled to the brim. May people live in prosperity through ennoblement of character. Be blessed by the divine. May peace prevail in us. May peace prevail around us. May peace prevail around the world. Peace, peace, peace. Gently rub your palms, cover your eyes. With your palms, wipe the face, raise the hands above your head. Take a deep breath. You may bring down your hand and open your eyes. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. Be blessed by the divine. Thank you, Aiyaa.
Thank you. Yeah, be blessed by the divine. Any questions, anybody, about the Panchendriya meditation? Okay, there are no questions. I will continue with the next session. Before that, let's bless Karthikeyan Aiyaa for the wonderful session. Karthikeyan Aiyaa, by the grace of the divine power, Karthikeyan Aiyaa and his family may enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, prosperity, wisdom, and peace. Thank you, Aiyaa, for taking time and taking this session.
Thank you, Aiyaa. All your Lord.